Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Today we've got an intriguing NFC matchup lined up here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Detroit Lions. Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his ends. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They run straight ahead here with White. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. They go play action. Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oh, they were so close. That close to the first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now it's gone. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta, 77 yards. And the Lions will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now a dump off here complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. First down, here's White. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Mayfield to throw it. Forced out to his left. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll go up the middle with White. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Here's a 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. Right again. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Mayfield down. And that So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth. Now Mayfield out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And he'll get it out to midfield. It's a spot right at midfield at the 50. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the 50, it's gone. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
4 down.
Back to throw, Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the Bucs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They'll start the drive with a give to White. They'll get it across midfield down to the 49. This a 2nd and 8. To throw, Mayfield. Now we take it in downfield by Godwin. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Dancing to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's right. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Mayfield. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. And this one too low. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll dump this one off here to right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
On the move to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Lions will take over. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football looking for an open person. No one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery, 22 yards. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Mayfield off the play fake. And his throw is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a give up the middle. This is Wright. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll run for it. This is White. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Mayfield on play action. Flush to his right. He's got him in. Complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to take another shot here.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete. That was a chance for the breakthrough. He's got a man running free, and you've got to be able to put that on him. But instead, let it too far. Incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone. He's in a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Play action. It's Goff. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
That is caught. He's across midfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And they call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield looking downfield for Godwin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They go play action. Mayfield. This is caught by Evans. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. 2nd down, Mayfield. Gets the check down throw to White. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll leave it with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to pick this. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. To throw on second down is Goff. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A gain of 32 that time.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And a nice run there, going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 29. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Here's Goff. Slant pass. He's got Reynolds. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Gibbs will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? From the gun, here's Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with White. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Mayfield to throw it. And a dump off to White. And some strong running. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. White not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on third and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Buccaneers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. They tried to catch him by surprise there on third down, but this defense, they were all over the jet sweep.
And it's oftentimes all about what you're doing on the backside of the defense, whether it's the defensive end or the outside backer, who's setting the edge. And if they don't get blown off the line of scrimmage, they can really wreck a play. And in this case, they were able to make the tackle for a loss as a result.
Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's second and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. That will be their third and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. And here comes Reynolds as they try the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Goff now looks to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Now Montgomery running right. He'll get this up to about the 44. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And now off to the races, down the right side. And they do finally get him at the 12. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On the keeper, here's Goff. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff keeping it himself on the quarterback sneak. And the Lions have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contact.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield.
Concede.